going to be a bigger job than you trying to edit me out.
You don't realize how many times I have to run your audio through like this algorithm to figure out how many times you say or
She's always struggled getting the love of the crowd.
This guy is the workhorse to put it on. Whether you love him or hate him, he can work with anybody. He's one of those wrestlers that can work with anybody.
Is it really the main event if you're not at the last closing the show on night 2 now?
I know,
hypothetically, I feel like you're in the middle of the card, Punk.
Next year's goal, right? Man, how do I put this without getting canceled?
Why do you keep bringing up the Japanese?
Because my whole point was, I was going to say, to this year just being screwed by The Rock, whether it's a dusty finish or... Well, it is that time again this week. We're celebrating something very holy, Cooter. I hope you're ready for church. I hope you're ready to celebrate. There's a lot of
Credo,
things.
do I look like the kind of guy who goes to church? If I walk in, I'm going to be afraid that motherfucker would fall around me.
Well,
I think the last time I was in church was at your wedding.
Well, not that kind of church. I mean, it's the holy week of WrestleMania, Cooter. Have you seen this list? It's ridiculous of what's going on this week. It's like a second-time job. It's a full-time, second-time job. I can't...
Credo,
there's a lot of wrestling going on this week.
Forget all that. It's because of that I'm in huge trouble.
Why is that?
Mom called. And you know how my mom is. What are we doing for Easter? Are you coming over? I'm like, let me get back to you. I got to see what's going on because I'm working or whatever. And then I realized, yeah, I'm coming over. But it's WrestleMania. I forgot. And I called her back. I was like, Ma, I can't make it. I got to watch WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? I just bought how much leg of lamb for you to come over? Oh, my God.
Are you saying you're turning your back on Jesus this weekend and not watching WrestleMania? This is what you got. This is the Holy Week.
Such a dick,
This
bro.
is the Holy Week. This is what we were celebrating. The house that Vince. It can't be Vince anymore.
Yeah,
because
you know what? Because Vince already had that match between Shawn and God and all that, right?
That is true. I mean, it all comes back full circle. And what we're celebrating, guys. Happy Marksmas. It's that holy season of WrestleMania, man. But seriously, this schedule is ridiculous. It's a second-time job. Like, when you're not working, you got to work to figure out what is happening this weekend.
Think about the last time we went.
Yeah.
That weekend.
That was the last full one show.
One day, yeah.
Before the 2-day fiasco.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
The last one. We were at the last
one.
Because
we had SmackDown.
COVID the year after, and then they had to turn that into 2 days.
Right. Holy shit.
So it stopped the world and made WrestleMania into 2 nights. I think they've been wanting to do that for a while. I think a lot of people complained though at the WrestleMania we were at because
it's like a shift of work.
We got out at what time? Midnight? That's when it ended or something? It was really...
Oh, that was funny because you remember Mike Cologne's story about that? About all the buses stopped running. He was running around highways, hopping over fences, trying to get to his hotel.
I thought you were going to say where he sat because they put him up in the, really... Is that you, Mike? And you're just like, oh, yeah, we can't... It's too
that
high
was
in the
you.
press box.
Oh, I'm just sitting here in the press box enjoying my complimentary food and drink and this and that. He was pissed, bro.
Is it one of those bad seats, too? Like he had to sit behind one of the pillars or something?
He couldn't even see the ring, dude.
But he made it, though. It's all right. That's the whole point.
You were in the building.
He was there. He was present. He was present for it. But it's WrestleMania, man. I think this is the thing we look forward to every year.
Yeah.
But I'm not too happy. I mean, there's a lot of things I'm not too happy about with this card, I guess you could say. I guess there's some positives, but there's a lot of negatives.
Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Credo's about to start bitching. Oh, what are you doing?
It's just like, we did it one time. I think I got to bring it back.
Are you doing the angry Credo routine?
Yeah, don't make fun of my head. I shaved it this week. I had to see what was going on with the hat.
God.
We're putting it backwards.
You look like Fred Durst right now.
Full angry Credo mode.
Oh, God.
Sometimes I have to live vicariously through the angry one himself because I can't be angry all the time.
You can't.
But I could do it tonight.
Tonight,
for WrestleMania. It's a WrestleMania special.
All right.
I got some gears to grind, stuff like that. I don't know.
Let's talk about the week. The week of events.
There's a lot of events. And, I think the biggest thing we were talking about was the one thing I kind of really was kind of looking forward to, but it's not being televised.
I don't think so. At least not yet.
Maybe they're filming it, but This is the one thing you like as an adult, as a older Mark.
Yes.
Would want to be watching before WrestleMania. Let the kids go to bed. Put this on Netflix Live.
Correct.
They'd probably make more hits than in WrestleMania this weekend.
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's the roast of WrestleMania.
See, I'm not good being angry. I'm trying to get more mad. But no, that's.
But how many roasts? Because we went to Iron Sheik's roast. We went to Terry Funk's roast. I'm pretty sure we were at the Jim Cornette roast. And those were always fun. Well, sort of. There were some incidents, but
Well, what did you think about him on Raw? Because I feel like they had to tone him down. Obviously, he can't say the stuff you normally say, but
my
PG
God.
Tony, do you think
Bro, I have never seen Tony Hinchcliffe. He looked like he was...
It was you totally turned the dial down just by not
he
letting
was
him
sucking
say.
kneecaps and licking boots. I'm just happy to be here, please. No jokes, no racial epithets,
Like something, man. Like you don't have to go crazy, but some kind of. Like,
I don't blame them for not doing this live,
clean,
right?
I know, yeah.
You can't blame them for not doing it live.
You get canceled these days, right? You're canceled too. Like there has to be a paid event, maybe. They gotta make some money.
Listen, just imagine all the jokes that will be going on at that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're not going to want half these things televised. So if they are taping it, that's going to be a heavy edit. That's going to be a bigger job than you trying to edit me out.
You don't realize how many times I have to run your audio through like this algorithm to figure out how many times you say or 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 like I could if I have to
let the record show you're in the lead this week. All right.
So, but there is I guess that's what I have to do. I guess I have to turn up the meter a little bit and fall into the angry
I got a
shoes.
gripe for you.
All right, what's this?
Okay. Night one of WrestleMania. We always used to complain that WrestleMania night was a shift at work, right?
No, yeah.
The NXT pay-per-view is before night one. So it's literally the same thing.
Same weekend, and not the same day. That's the problem is like...
It's the same day. So you're going to be watching from, I think it starts at 1 o'clock, all the way until night one is done,
like,
which is a shift at work again.
I know, man. People want to get ready for WrestleMania. Like, they don't want to have to, like... There's the pre-show, but then you got the pre-show, and I'm like, come on, stop. I want to just like, I want to sleep in.
There's
I want
the pre-show and
I want to
the
get some snacks. I don't want to have to watch all and go to all these events, but I get it, man.
The food is going to be done before the pay-per-view even starts.
So I don't know, but so I mean, like that's the thing. From that whole list we've shown, it's just there's too much going on.
Yeah,
and they're like bragging, oh, we got 9 hours a day of content. I'm like, bro, I love it. I appreciate it. But give me the Tony, give me the Kill Tony show.
Yeah,
for
the one thing I do want to see, because it's not like, because Credo is he's not crazy about watching Kamala get, inducted into Hall of Fame.
That was regular Credo. Today, I'm angry Credo. I don't mind it anymore.
All right, so what are your gripes on some of these things on the card?
Just looking at it, I think, well, there's some non-gripes. Let's talk about some non-gripes, because one of the non-gripes is Gunther versus Jey Uso.
Yes.
I mean, it surprised us at WrestleMania with the Jey Uso win. I mean, going into the night before, if you'd have told me who would win for $1 million, I would not have picked Jey Uso, right?
But you mean the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
So coming out of the Royal Rumble, I feel like everything they've done since then, it's been enough. It doesn't need any more. We just need the match. And
yes.
I'm ready for it. I want to see it. It's going to probably be one of the best matches of the night. Granted, he did have a sleeper a few years ago with his brother, or the nonstop
was that last
super
year?
kick party, was it? How do you go from that to main event? Oh, okay, that's a gripe. He's not main eventing. He's main event Jey Uso.
Main event Jey Uso, who won the Royal Rumble, which gets you the main event at WrestleMania, and you're not main eventing?
But I love CM Punk. I'm glad he's main eventing, but all right, just cut the main event nickname as cool as it was. Well, I guess we're just happy that he's getting the world title shot at least.
The one thing I'm going to say that I'm happy about with that was it was great that he won the Rumble. It was great that he's getting this match. And then at some point, I feel like the buildup wasn't what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But they went somewhere with it. I didn't want to on it. I didn't want to be that guy because, again, I'm going to wait to see the finished product.
Yeah.
I personally am not going to dump on anything until after WrestleMania, when the project and the cake and all that is laid out on the table and I get to do my taste test. Pause. Okay.
He paused himself.
Yeah, I paused myself. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's at a point now where I feel like, okay, now I'm reinvested. They've come full circle. We got a confident Jey Uso going in against someone like Gunther, who's always confident, but because of that last promo, might not be as confident as he was prior to him beating Jimmy.
Now, I don't want to do this the whole night, but I think this is one of the matches I do want to kind of find out who you want to win, because I feel like maybe who you want to win, and then how do you really the fans over to where, okay, Jey Uso loses.
Okay.
You know, is that what would be acceptable about this? Then take that to Backlash for him to win it there? Nah, I mean,
I don't even think he needs to win it.
No, you just think it's.
I love Gunther as champion. I loved his IC title run. I like longevity in these title reigns. I'm tired of the belt bouncing around, you know, like a stripper.
And well, this would be what, 2 years in a row where I don't know how many for Gunther to where like went into Mania, loses it, went into Mania, loses
exactly.
it.
I'm okay with some.
Could that
Jey
be a
Uso
rematch on Monday Night Raw? You know, could they do something like that if he does lose? If he does lose, it has to happen on Raw, and or some. I don't know, but this is Mania. They built them up so much you can't. I'm just thinking, like, how could they screw with their minds to, like, are they really just going to give us the best finish?
I would just say maybe even say SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I like the longevity in the title reigns. I'm glad Jay's in, you know, the sort of main event. He's in the world title match. That's great. I don't want him to win.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs it. I think somebody like Gunther is going to add a little bit more prestige to that newer title.
How pissed do you think Fatu is going to be around?
Yeah.
Go to
I am blocking Rikishi. I am blocking Rikishi on X right before night one because I just not want to see that.
Just in case.
I love Rikishi, but dude.
It's always funny. Everybody always making fun of him because he would always complain about, like, you know, oh, he deserves better. So, I don't know. I guess he would get. I mean, it's his son who would get mad too.
Dude, I wouldn't get mad either, but the amount of pissing and moaning, you sound like my ex-wife.
Well, he's going to enjoy it or he's going to hate it. So either one way, you're going to have to stay tuned until have the Rikishi meter of what he did.
What's his handle on it? Nah, I don't give a All right, moving on.
All right, so something that's been a little bit weird. So, I mean, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, moved on. Charlotte Flair came back, returning from an injury, winning her second Women's Royal Rumble, faces Tiffany Straton now.
Looking like a melted Barbie doll that was sitting on the radiator for 2 fucking weeks.
But tell us how you really feel. Hey! You know, okay, so Charlotte, man, she...
Did she get that facelift from the same guy who did her first boob job?
You know, the one
outside of wrestling where they were like awkward and lopsided.
I mean, you know, something. Things. Well, she also divorced Andrade, who actually is in WWE now.
0-3.
Oh, that's. We weren't here. We weren't here last week for that whole promo too. To where. What was that like? Okay, so my whole point of this was that she went from the Royal Rumble, okay, and then like. Nothing really went by. I feel like that was worth anything except for the bad promo they had last week. And then it's like now you got people talking on like such a promo.
Do you really think it was bad? Or do you think that was planned? Do you think, I personally think, and I'm always going to be in the minority with this, that Charlotte knew that was going to happen in Chicago. They were going to boo her out of the building. And she wanted to make Tiffany look a little bit better because the last couple of weeks, she just dog walked her with promos. Like, do you remember that side-by-side one that they had?
Yeah.
She just kept cutting Tiffy off and just, like, walking all over her, wasn't letting her talk. And that was annoying. This week it was like, okay, or what was that? That was last week. You know, let her get a little shine. Let her get Now, what makes me think I'm wrong, she kind of went a little far with some of that. That sounds like some that would come out of me after like 4 or 5 tequilas.
Well, I think the whole thing was that, you know, Straton felt that Charlotte wasn't doing, I guess, what she was supposed to do in the promo and kind of went off script. I think people are comparing it to John Cena where he would kind of like egg the other person on a little bit back in his old promos to kind of get them to see like how they can handle themselves. Tiffany probably took that as like, hey, why are you going off a script? Maybe got mad. I'm just guessing, right? I don't know. But I'm to draw that kind of reaction to where Tiffany dropped the 0-3. And then she says, what's his name? Ludwig Kaiser's.
Why is Kaiser in my DMs? And did you see the reply? He played the Shawn Michaels thing. Don't flatter yourself. I was in tears, bro.
So, I mean, okay, we got 2 little good things. I guess we're, you know, so whatever they didn't, I guess they got us interested, right? We're talking about it, but at the same time, like it was a weird, rocky start for this. So I mean,
You want an honest opinion?
yeah.
Is build for the WrestleMania card, honestly.
But what if? Well, I have to do some of these what ifs. I know we're not going to drag our show on it.
Okay.
But what if Charlotte wins and becomes champion? How much heat is that going to be at WrestleMania? People are going to be pissed. I don't know. I don't think it's a. What Charlotte's won many times at WrestleMania, right? Or what's her record? She's given up the title too at WrestleMania. Is this just a stepping stone for Tiffany because she is super hot? I was like, why haven't they given her the title all last year? To at one point, it was like, why are we still waiting? Like, she was red hot, kind of lost that in the, then they put the Money in the Bank on her to win the championship and all that. So,
It's crazy.
I don't want to see her lose. It's weird.
I've always been a Charlotte Flair fan in the ring, right?
Yeah.
So, I've always said she's probably the best women's wrestler we've ever seen.
Yeah.
In terms of in-ring talent.
Better career than Rick?
I said women. I said women.
Better than her dad?
Listen, I'm not going there. I'm not going to compare apples and oranges.
All right.
Men and women. I'm not doing that because it's not fair.
Yeah.
All right. For her to be as good as she is, trying to live up to somebody who's as great as her father was, I don't think anybody can deny that she's probably the greatest female in WWE history.
Yeah.
Gets herself in great shape, has great spots, always puts on great matches, can talk, can do it all. But Tiffy's right. She's always struggled getting the love of the crowd.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Tiffany Straton, man, hats off to her because she's 25, 27, in the 20, whatever. She's like a superstar right now. She's got to keep going what she's doing. But I also read she doesn't want to do it forever, right? She wants to be she wants to be in the movies too. She wants to be a superstar like The Rock. So I mean, her though.
See, I don't get that.
I don't know if it's going to be a stepping stone for her to where are they really behind her to have Charlotte lose to her?
It's been my problem with wrestling lately because I'm seeing a lot of parallels with that, like in the music industry.
Yeah,
people get into the music industry because they think it's going to get them into something else. It's going to get them into movies and TV roles and all this other bull. Then why don't you just start off with that?
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Let's use one form of entertainment to get into another. You haven't earned it. You're just trying to build your name as opposed to getting it on merit.
No, yeah. I haven't been angry enough on the show.
All right.
I mean, I got this thing going. I don't have to turn it into every week, but I could. I mean, depending on how I look for my age. Here we
Come
go.
on, Steve Durst, let's go.
Okay. Some things I don't even want to talk about to where United States Championship. This needs to be a squash match. Jacob Fatu squashes LA Knight. LA Knight, brother, you were cool for a minute, and then you kind of lost it when Orton and Punk came back, and I feel like he's still.
Can I ask you this question?
Jacob's so big right now; he needs a championship.
You're not wrong. I'm not gonna disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
However, here's what I'm gonna ask you.
All right.
Good friend of the show, Mike Shapiro.
Yeah.
Why do you have so much hate for LA Knight? He always asks me. He says, "Why do you?" He says he's never ready for title runs. He's never, he's not ready yet. Yeah. What's your hatred for LA Knight? Because you really do have some.
Me?
Yeah, you're on him.
LA Knight, man. I don't think I had, he was, even with Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt was LA Knight. I think his last match, against LA Knight, that whole, where he jumped into the, whatever. He had a weird, anyway, I don't know. He was over for a little bit. And then, like I said, I think Orton came back, Punk came back at Survivor Series. LA Knight kind of lost his little bit of a sizzle. His fizzle. He's going out. He's doing whatever. But I don't know. A lot of people not me, but a lot of people keep saying he's just The Rock and Stone Cold, and then that's his character. And he looks like Stone Cold with hair. He's got I don't know, man. I think he needs something, or else he's falling into that Miz category. Who in the first time in 17 years doesn't have a WrestleMania match?
Holy.
Some fun facts out there, kids. Google it. I believe it's 17. But no, I feel like LA Knight's falling in that Miz category. LA Knight's up there too, man. He's 45, 46. He's he's not a spring chicken, as the whatever say, right? He's old, right? So that's okay. But
coming from a 43-year-old, go ahead.
no, hey, do I look 43? I have my hat backwards. I have the glasses on. I'm angry. But no, all in all, I wanted to see a squash with this. I mean, Jacob Fatu has been red hot. We're gonna have to see him separated from the bloodline. And, like he kind of put another guy who doesn't have a match out of the business, to where he has a United States Championship match, and where's Solo?
We're Solo,
right?
Solo's on the bench again for like the third year in a row.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't he in? What was he in last year? That wasn't the. No, he wasn't in the tag.
He wasn't in shit last year either.
Ringside, right?
He was just doing interference.
Man, so I feel like Jacob kind of overshadowed him, because like he was kind of like that guy, but Jacob's so much more than like this. The personality is so much different.
You know what was so crazy? Better. Like Solo to me is like the complete package, right?
Yeah.
He can wrestle. He can talk. He's got every ability. And then Jacob came in looking like the enforcer and was just incredible in the ring. And we never really got to hear him say anything other than "I love you, Solo."
Yep.
Right. And then when Solo went away for a little bit after losing to Roman Reigns, Jacob starts talking, and he's better than Solo with that too. I mean, I wouldn't say better. I would say different.
Yeah.
Like, Solo is so, like, he reminds me of, like, a cocky mafioso guy. You know what I'm saying?
He reminds me of a classic, like, 80s, like, head shrinker guy.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Like, why are you wasting my time? Where Jacob is just pure energy, pure fire. Yeah, I mean, like, all this cool.
I mean, this is going to be a big stepping stone for him. I think becoming a United States champion, kind of like elevating that championship.
Look at you counting the chickens before they hatch.
I know he's elevating that championship. I think the United States championship needs a little bit of a Jacob Fatu.
I want to hide a camera at your house, and I just want to pray that LA Knight squashes Jacob Fatu just so I could see that reaction. Then you want to see an angry Credo, that's going to be what's up.
If you want to see it, we're actually going to be at Aspire Brewery in Middletown Saturday. I think the show will be up by Saturday. It's got to be before WrestleMania.
Yes.
We'll be in Middletown hanging out. Awesome championship wrestling. The now Vic Delicious Hale Collins. We'll see Hale Collins, I think, in a week or so. Either way, we're going to go out there for WrestleMania Night 1, guys. So
nice.
A little plug. I mean, I had to put that in the middle of it.
All right.
But how about this? Okay, the War Raiders. What's your favorite War Raiders WrestleMania match, Cooter?
WrestleMania match? I wouldn't say WrestleMania match.
Exactly. They haven't been. I feel like, when was the last time they were even on a WrestleMania?
Everybody's got to be on there for the first time. What the are we talking about?
I feel like they're like on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal held on SmackDowns on Thursdays or Friday nights, whatever. The War Raiders, though.
You're going to sit here and act like they don't have great matches? Remember their War Games match?
But that was then. This is now.
You act like they don't deserve it.
I feel like they've just been hiding in the back, and then all of a sudden a week before WrestleMania, now it's like, oh, the champion. I forgot they were even the champions. This whole match is just to bring Big E out. That's it. It's a return of Big E because they've been putting Big E down. So something's going to happen with Big E. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
The reason
interference.
I'm okay with this match, I love the build-up with the storyline of the New Day. From them failing week after week, them basically getting in each other's fakes, airing out their grievances, on each other. Then they were going to do that 10-year celebration where Big E came out. This has been and they turned on Big E. They turn heel. They start winning matches. This has been a better storyline because, like we said months ago, they've been in the situation for God knows how long, and I'm actually invested in their story. So I want to see this.
All right.
I want to see it because I wouldn't be surprised.
I forgot they're champions, man. I don't know. I feel like Vince ruined it for me, man. He brought him in and like changed our whole War Machine gimmick thing, and it was just like the Viking experience. Shall we remember that one?
Now they're dressed as bikers, which is just weird.
What is this? The DOA or what is it? Anyway,
Disciples of Apocalypse.
Oh man! All right, so this is still what are we on now? That was like night 1. Are we on night? Did we talk about night 2? I don't know. That was night 1. Not even so. New Day. No.
You got the main event.
Oh my God! There's so much more WrestleMania. This is not even night 1, man. There's been That's what I'm saying, man. There's so many matches, 2 nights. Can't we just go back to one night where it was the best of the best and not have like everybody get a trophy, kind of like everybody?
This guy.
2 nights.
You're
What's next?
always
3?
whining and bitching.
Okay, so how about the biggest thing that's probably going to happen on that? I mean, okay, not the biggest thing. Okay, let's go through the mediocre ones, and we'll end on the biggest one for night 1. But Jade Cargill versus Naomi, is this?
It's been a nice build up. Listen, they did something really cool with Jade's absence.
It's a big nod for both of them. I mean, it's a big promise. This is a billboard for AEW wrestlers who are stars. Like, hey, I'm being billed this way, and I that goes for somebody else too later on in the show, the whole Lucha Brothers, but that's another day. But Jade Cargill coming over from AEW.
Yeah.
Not the strongest worker. We've worked on that. She's built up, she's still a big character. She's like She-Hulk, right? Versus Naomi. Naomi also came back from TNA. Yep. She left at that time, giving her own Mania match. It's a big deal. I mean, even though they probably didn't use her as good throughout the year, these two are getting their own Mania match.
You know what the problem for me with Jade's been?
A solo one at that too. Anyway, this is there's another cool fact if you guys look it up. This is the first singles women's match I think that was announced that didn't involve the women's championship since it's an old one. I can't even remember it right now, but it's a weird fact. Like this match right here, every other match of a women's at WrestleMania was for a title. Okay. So it's been a while. I forget how many years, but anyway. All right. So
my problem with Jade has been, I feel like every match she's been in, she just dominates and it's a squash.
Yeah.
I don't think that's great for a long period of time. Hopefully this match is a little competitive. They let Naomi get her you know what I mean? And maybe they have a nice little back and forth with Jade winning or Naomi. It doesn't matter who wins. Just hope for a good match.
All right. I mean, that's not too much to be angry about.
I can't wait for this one.
So Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Oh, this is so great.
How does El Grande Americano have a match at WrestleMania before Chad Gable?
Do not besmirch the good name of El Grande Americano.
I mean,
this has been so fun.
Could you imagine though waiting your whole life to be on WrestleMania and like Chad Gable got this whole new stable, and then your first match like solo is as like a character that's not even you that you waited for? No, of course.
Listen, I'm still not convinced that it's Chad Gable.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced.
They'll probably have some other kind of a reveal, maybe.
Dude, I feel like it's going to be somebody else.
Maybe like the old Doink, he goes under the ring, somebody else comes out and finishes, and somebody else would have a nice little switcheroo.
There you go.
Who could come back for that? That would be a cool like reveal if they could hide somebody in that. All right, so that's a WrestleMania match. But I think the biggest thing for night 1 is the triple threat: Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman on a pole match. I think Paul Heyman is the fourth man out of this. I think we could agree that this has been an incredible build-up. There's so much story going on for this one, for who's fought who's done this, what favor is owed to this person. I don't know. This is CM Punk finally gets his main event. He gets the main event WrestleMania. Got screwed last year with the whole injury thing, and he's back though. So it's very cool to get that. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think they used Paul great.
Yeah, he's the fourth man in this, man. Yeah. Like he's not just a manager.
For everybody who said, "Oh, these three shouldn't be in the ring together. There's no story." Come on, there's so much history between the three of them.
Yeah,
like it was all just there, and they used Paul to tie it all together and make it what it's meant to be, the main event of night 1. And this is great, dude. I cannot wait for this.
I was kind of like angry a few episodes ago because I was saying I like that CM Punk's, no, I wasn't happy that CM Punk didn't win the Rumble, but not that upset that I'd throw something through a TV. But like CM Punk,
you were crying like a bitch. Are you kidding me?
I feel like I would have loved to see him go for the championship on this one, but then like when he wasn't in that mix, it was kind of like, is he going to get the main event? And then this came about, and then we were talking about Seth Rollins being like the second, the third wheel, if you will. And, it has that. What do you think about that though? Because I feel like at the end of the day too, we talked about that 2 shows. Is like, hey, is he just getting like the consolation prize every WrestleMania? But now it feels a little bit more special with Paul Heyman involved. Is he going to leave? Is Paul Heyman going to turn on people, go to Seth Rollins? The biggest thing out of this match is who is Paul Heyman going to be loyal to?
Yes.
Or be with at the end of the match, right?
I heard some weird fan theories. There was the one where, what did Seth Rollins say? Getting rid of CM Punk and Roman Reigns is what's best for business.
Yeah.
Who else said that? John Cena said that
John Cena?
it's best for business to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's just a very strange phrase to be used. So is it possible that maybe he ends up on like this little stable with The Rock and Cena? I don't know.
All right, yeah, it's a good thing to throw out.
This was not my theory. I'm just, you marks out there are a little crazy, but you have your ways of trying to make weird make sense.
But then
get
you
your
can't...
tinfoil hat on and start your armchair booking because it's WrestleMania week.
That's it, man. It's exciting. But at the same time, like, you can't, like, as a fan, don't talk yourself up too much, because you can't be like, CM Punk's going to win, he's going to do this, he's going to win, he's going to do, like, just let it happen, man. Just enjoy it, because, like, people build up their own stories, or you never know what's going to happen, and then that doesn't happen. But the thing that did happen, it was still kind of big. It just wasn't as big as what you thought.
Yeah.
And then it's just like,
pause.
Hey. So, you know, either way, no, but it's been a good build. You know, like I said, I was a little bit upset. I kind of want the Punk to main event. He's main eventing. Now we got Seth Rollins, the third wheel, but down.
Is it really the main event if you're not at the last closing the show on night 2 now?
I know,
hypothetically, I feel like you're in the middle of the card, Punk.
Next year's goal, right? That is true. Next year's goal is to be on the night 2 main event.
Hypothetically, I'm not wrong. You're literally not the main event. You're in the middle of the card.
And you're right after NXT during the day. So it's, you're just even though.
You're an asshole.
Well, night one, as big as that, guys. No, there's a night 2 to talk about.
Okay.
But, you know, so night 1, once again, I want to tell everybody, Aspire Brewery in Middletown. We're going to be out there. I think they're starting at 5. There's going to be trivia at 6. You could win some prizes.
I'll be hammered by 7.
Awesome championship wrestling. You can probably get tickets there, guys. The now Hale Collins, Vic Delicious will be there. We'll see you out there. So night 2, though, I'm going to probably be home. I'm going to be watching this at home. Or unless you're having a party.
No.
There's no party. Unless Sal's having a party. No party. Okay. All right. So, but night 2, we're going to watch it at home either way. So let's talk about some of the matches on night 2. If you haven't already caught your breath. Now, this is going to be, what, after the Slammies, before the pre-night. There's going to be so many freaking things. In like, what part of the show is this? So, the last part of it. So, you know, at night 2, night 1 is going to be hectic enough. I'm just trying to look around some of these matches. I'll start from the bottom, work our way to the top.
There's a Sin City street fight? What the fuck is that?
It's a Damien Priest we didn't have anything for, and a Drew McIntyre we still don't have a main event spot for. So they're fighting each other.
That's kind of cool. Not for nothing, because they were trying to build that at the Rumble.
These two guys are huge. They've been main eventers. Drew McIntyre had the championship last year for a few seconds before being cashed in on.
Correct.
Damien Priest also lost it to Drew. You know, so like there's another little story here, a nice little thing to finish it off.
Yeah.
You know, so since you street fight, what does that mean? I hope they're fighting in casinos, because that'll be awesome. That'll be fighting down the strip. Something.
Smack him in the face with a handful of chips.
I'm saying, like, you could even have fun spots too, like old wrestlers sitting at like slot machines or something. You know, come on, we should be booking Mania. All right, so without getting into, I mean, there's not much to get into that. They've had a good little thing going on. There's some story.
AJ and Logan.
You know, there's gonna be a fun thing. AJ and Logan, man, I don't know what about this, because I'm like, if AJ doesn't win,
he's not going to win.
But like Logan, I think needs I feel like it's not for a championship. This is just for, you know, a match at Mania. I think they want to give Logan a win. I don't know. Of
course they do.
And who better to beat than AJ Styles? But at the same time, does AJ need this from coming back from an injury for so long? So it's like another no.
Yo, AJ is solidified, bro. Like all that matters is he puts on great matches.
Yeah.
I don't care if he wins or loses. It's just awesome seeing him in the ring. And the build-up for this has been kind of cool. It's been fun. But I think they're going to end up having to give Logan the nod here, because he's one of those guys who could potentially be the future of that company.
You know what I would do? I would get his brother involved, Jake Paul.
Again?
And then I'd get Tyson involved, and they have a little Tyson-Jake Paul, another fight at WrestleMania. Like, what if they need something? They need a celebrity moment. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Where you come up with these?
Well, it's Vegas.
Take that hat off and put the tinfoil on.
I'm trying to get into that. I can't get angry, though. I'm too nice. But Logan Paul, you know, like, I don't know, man. I think this will be a good celebrity moment. He's going to probably have one of his friends, that dude that runs down the bottle all the time. I'm sure they're going to have that going on. But no, I mean, either or. It's another match that I'm like, AJ wins, that's great. Logan wins, I don't mind it. But I'm like, does it suck for AJ not to win and suck for Logan Paul not to win? Because I feel like they both kind of need this, but at the same time, as long as I think this could be a show stealer.
I feel like
if they put on a real, because they're both awesome athletes, so like why not? Like this is too bad it's not for any title.
I can see these two trying to do a game of one-upsmanship. Who's going to do the coolest?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the one, another gripe. I think as of now, she doesn't have it, but the United States champion, Chelsea Green, does not have a WrestleMania match. And she's the United States champion. And she's been a better champion than Lyra Valkyrie.
Are you out of your mind?
Than her, like, as an intercontinental champion, compared in the United States versus the IC championships for the women, I feel like Chelsea Green's had a better spotlight. Lyra is still finding her footsteps, if you will. She's teaming with Bayley. So not only is the United States Women's Championship not on the line, the IC Championship Women's is not on the line, which is okay, but you're teaming her in a tag team match, and it's for another championship.
Your contention here is that the girl who's actually on the WrestleMania card is not as good as the girl who's not on the card.
But they're also putting her in a championship match for another championship when she's already got another championship to worry about.
I feel like they're setting up another. Here's the beauty of WrestleMania, you mother.
All right, what's the beauty?
It's not always just the end to feuds. A lot of times,
sunshine and rainbows. I feel like you got to do like Sylvester Stallone, and it was like a Rocky thing. Anyway,
Jesus, it's not just the end of feuds. Sometimes I feel like it's the start of feuds.
Yeah,
and there's been this thing going on between Lyra and Bayley, and maybe that turns into the start of another long-term feud. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, right. Listen, Lyra's on Monday night defending that title every week, and don't get me wrong, Chelsea's entertaining as all hell.
Did you see that too? I know this is a little step from WrestleMania, but did you see her match on SmackDown where she got counted out and the ref, she didn't from what it looks legit, like a legit botch, if you will. She was outside the ring arguing with Bad News Barrett, and he counts to 10. So the ref legit had to call it, and she wasn't inside the ring by the 10 count. And so I think when she gets in the ring, if you watch the clip, she looks confused because
now
she's like,
you
what
know
happened?
Why she's not on the card, Credo.
Well, I don't think it was
because she can't hear the ref count to 10.
But so then I'm like in my head, are they setting this match up to be like a rematch at WrestleMania? And I don't know. Anyway, so my whole gripe what I got from the beginning of this was that the champion is on another championship match. And I don't know. I can't be angry anymore.
What do you have a problem being the champ, bro?
Why
can't a champ go for another champ?
They already have another champ who's not on it. Who should be on it? Who's not going to go for a champion, another champion? Anyway, that's not a mouthful.
Pause.
There we go. So we have the real Intercontinental champ. Oh, well, you can't say the real. That's sexist, right? It's the men's Intercontinental champion. Well, you can't say the real because it's the original. That's what I really meant to say. The original Intercontinental Championship, fatal four-way match. Got Bron Breakker, who's been killing it. Did you see that spear the other last week?
Oh Jesus, with Carlito.
That was crazy. He'd kill himself. Anyway, versus Penta versus Dominick Mysterio.
Yo, I saw somebody said he looked like Bobby Boucher.
Yeah. Versus Finn Balor. So, dude, I feel like a lot of these matches, I'm so conflicted to where I'm like, well, yeah, I want him to win, but no, it really makes sense for him to win.
I feel
like every other match, almost every match, like the matches I really want.
Who do you want to win that match, Credo?
So, in this, I said it a few episodes ago, I was like, the sleeper pick's going to be Dominick Mysterio.
Yes!
I feel like Dominick deserves
to win.
It. The dude deserves it for everybody he's put over. Look at his history of who's come in, who he's wrestled, what he's done. Like, this guy is the workhorse to put it on, whether you love him or hate him. He could work with anybody. He's one of those wrestlers that could work with anybody. But at the same time, I'm a Finn Balor fan. I've been pissed off the way Vince kind of used him. I feel like Vince didn't use him because he wasn't as big of a guy. He wasn't, like one of his, 80s muscle men or whatever. But you make, because I love Finn Balor from wearing the face paint, and then they took that away from him, and then they had to find himself. Then they gave him the demon gimmick.
I want to see the face paint.
That was it. That was the argument. And then, and so I love Finn Balor. I mean, great champion in NXT. We saw him up here in Albany. We go to those shows. He was great as a champion, but it's another Vince thing to where I feel like they tried using him, and then he got injured, and then it just wasn't the same after that injury. He was the first Universal Champion, and then after that whole spot where he got injured, he lost it, right? hasn't been the same since. So I would really want to see a Finn Balor win. And now the other two, it's like, well, I don't care. Braun Breaker's on fire right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to lose. So I could see him also just winning, but at the same time, if he does lose, I could see them moving him up more
That's
for like
more what I'm thinking.
the world title kind of matching up. So this could be. So if he does lose, I wouldn't see him back in the IC championship category.
I'd love to see Braun Breaker in a Gunther match.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad at that.
So like I feel like that'll be the next level for him after this. But also once again, another person who could win it, and what another billboard that would be for anybody in AEW or TNA being like
Penta.
If you're a star, man, and they're not using you, look at what we're doing with the stars over here. You had what, 3 matches since you debuted, and now you're on a WrestleMania match. Not only for just a match, but you're in an Intercontinental Championship match. Like it's a big deal, right? And not only you're on night 2. So they're using between him and Rey Fenix, man, they're going to be superstars, and the whole Lucha division I feel like it's going to be big. So like Rey Mysterio can retire off into the sunset because I feel like that kind
Your
of
hatred for Rey Mysterio,
the masked wrestlers,
so
the
bad.
Luchas. I love Rey. We had him on the show for like a live. He was really good. Anyway, but no, Dominick Mysterio I think really should win it.
He should.
I really want Finn Balor. I really hope for him to win it. Braun Breaker, doesn't matter, win or lose, he's still going to be a superstar even more. And Penta, once again, another match where I'm like, I can see an argument for everybody winning, and I wouldn't mind who won out of this.
I think Braun Breaker.
Conflicted.
I think Breaker's ready for bigger and better things.
Yeah,
I don't think Penta really needs that yet. I'd like to see him chase probably a Mysterio. I think that would be cool, and I feel like it's a great way to really separate Finn out of the Judgment Day because he's just not fitting.
Yeah,
I feel like Dominick's going to head up that stable, get some more people up in there because he keeps talking about how he wants to bring somebody new in there.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you he's going to bring somebody new in there who's going to screw Finn and help him win that IC title.
That's true.
And that's the way I would do it. And then you have, another Finn Balor, Dominick little rivalry. You could have Penta chase after Dominick. But I don't think Bron, it's like what they did with Gunther. Once he dropped that belt, it was put the rocket ship on and send them up to the world title division.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's what Bron, he's ready.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't anything that man can't do.
Yeah, and I mean, I first did years ago, like, I still hate the name. I'd rather see him be called a Steiner because it just makes sense in this landscape. Double K for Breaker, come on. I'm very fickle like that because I'm very, like, uniform. Like, it has to look good, right? His name, man, it just throws me off. Especially when they keep talking about his dads or his uncle and everybody. Like, just go back to Steiner, man. It's such a cooler name. And it's like the history. Why wouldn't you want to be part of that history, I guess? Anyway.
Because he wants to make his own legacy.
Yeah, whatever.
Stop breaking balls and move on.
Whatever. All right, the Women's World Championship, we have a triple threat match we have Io Sky, who's the champion for 2 weeks, versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. This happened, like, once again, like, for the past few weeks leading up to Mania, it was like, who's winning the championship now? They kept moving titles around to change things. Even watching this past week, again, Io Sky, it's one of those things for foreign wrestlers. They're, whether you're Japanese, Chinese, Mexican, anything. Like, if
send your hate mail.
I'm not hating, but no, here. So she's Japanese.
At Credo.
I'm getting to a good point. So like a Shinsuke Nakamura, Io Sky can't.
Why do you keep bringing up the Japanese?
Because my whole point was, I was going to say, she would benefit with like a manager being her mouthpiece, as opposed to like, they did it for her, or no, they didn't do it for her. They did it for like Shinsuke doing like the subtitles and stuff like that.
Yeah, they did it for her this week too.
That's right. So, I mean, I like that at first, but at the same time, I feel like some of these guys where they're forcing to be, up in the promos where they really can't cut. Like, Io Sky's a better walk the walk than talk the talk, to where I'm sure I wouldn't want to go to Japan and cut a promo against her, but at the same time, when you're doing it for man, how do I put this without getting canceled? I'm not trying to be.
I gotta wait. I gotta wait.
But do you think that championship is like helping her be elevated in this match?
Hold on. Shut up for a second.
Incredible in there.
Please. I think her speaking in her second language, she can't be as animated because she's not as comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like when she cut the promo in Japanese, you had your highs, you had your lows. She felt more comfortable.
Yeah, more natural, yeah.
And it actually sounded cool. And when you can read it with the subtitles, I think it went over well. I don't think it worked as well for Shinsuke. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I like Shinsei speaking English.
So,
me no speak English. I love that shit.
Well, see, like, Angry Credo comes out every few episodes because I feel like even going back to this, I was mad because I'm like, why would they switch the title right now? Like, why would you do, like, so my whole thing out of this is that, yeah, maybe Io needs that championship to going into this match to make her feel more like not just the third wheel like Seth Rollins in a way, like we were saying, but for Bianca and Rhea out of this, another match is like who's going to win because I feel like Bianca really deserves it. I think they're going back to pushing her to where a few WrestleMania ago she was at the top of the world, and then she's like ever slow either did tag teams and like they haven't really pushed her a while.
I'm going to disagree with you completely on that.
Yeah.
I feel like this triple threat had a great story behind it.
Yeah.
Because you had Rhea just got her heartstrings tugged on by Io to give her a title shot. Bianca had already won the Elimination Chamber, which got her a title shot. They told a great story on how to get these three in the ring together. And the fact that Io, hey, I won this match. Both of y'all are disrespecting me. Don't forget I'm the champ. And they keep just going at each other. It's been a great little tie-up. This has probably been one of my favorite builds on the card. At least top 3.
No, yeah, all right. I mean, I feel like Rhea almost broke her nose. Did you see that kick on the TV 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
that was nuts.
From the back.
No, yeah. So going into this, I'm like,
damn.
I know Rhea is still on top of the women's division, right?
Uh-huh.
So she main evented her own pay-per-view. You know, going into this, she doesn't need the championship. But has she? I'm not good with facts, guys. We're getting old. I don't remember things. I don't want to Google it right away. But like, I can't remember a time where she won it at WrestleMania, and I know I'm wrong, but like, do they want to give her a good win as a face in WrestleMania, or do they want to give it back to Belair? To where going into this, I don't think Io is going to keep that championship. I think it's going to Bianca or Rhea. This is the only one I can actually say I don't see keeping, but I feel like they're going to be behind Bianca. I think that's the end of the day.
I think they keep it on Io. I really feel that way.
No, you think it's not changing?
Well, you got to remember, she dropped it to Bayley last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'd be nice to see her get a win.
All right.
Just a thought.
Well, either way, I mean, lo and behold, though, we're getting up to like the main event of the main event weekend of all the 50 shows that are going to be on. I can't do it anymore. I can't. This angry. I'm getting angry about it. But no, how can you be angry about this? But then again, you could. We were a little bit angry.
You
in the
need to
beginning
calm
of this
down.
feud.
Have a shot.
We're. Oh my god, I can't do this.
Give it back. Then.
No drinking. Undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. You know, we were mad because when this feud started and he turned heel, great beginning. That shit you lead into Raw with, you know, like you take that energy and then go. He should have been the first person out the Raw after the heel turn. Cutting that kind of a promo, but no, he was gone for like 2 to 3 weeks.
And you know what the other thing that pisses me off about this?
Cody's eye healing before Cena came back, or the whole.
Not even that. The fact that it was The Rock who got him to turn heel, and we have not seen or heard a word out of this mother throughout this entire build. We went 2 weeks, or maybe it was 3 that we didn't hear from Cena.
Yeah.
And then he finally popped back, and then that's when he turned heel. But there's been very little, no mention of The Rock, unless it was in some bullshit. They were going back and forth, and the fact that we haven't seen him in the build-up. But you're the reason why John Cena turned heel. So what? You got Peacemaker or whatever the his name is, season 2 greenlit. Like, what are we doing over here? Who gives a shit?
You know, that's the biggest thing, because now that's all I'm going to think about is like, okay, this is
all because of The Rock, but The Rock's not here.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, okay, is that the obvious finish, though, going into this? Is it going to be like, oh, The Rock's going to screw Cody?
I have no idea.
Can't see you know, like, there's so much that can go on, but as Angry Credo, today I'm going to say I want John Cena winning this. I want him walking out. I want him bringing the spinner back for one night, the next night, and then holding on to this championship to, like, SummerSlam or something, or Backlash. No, you can't just do this. That Backlash.
Here's one of your tinfoil.
17.
I got one for you.
All right, yeah.
The tinfoil hat is going on my head right now.
All right.
What if John Cena puts Cody Rhodes
in
the sharpshooter.
The sharpshooter.
And The Rock comes down and tells the ref to ring the bell.
Oh, my God. But don't forget, you also have Stone Cold and Bret Hart being inducted.
All right, you just ruined it.
They could be there. They're going to be in the building. We can have Bret Hart run in. Nah, that's too over. That's too crazy. But no, this could be the 17th world title surpassing Ric Flair. They need a Ric Flair shot.
Why is that a thing? That's not even like the real title count. I think it's 24.
No, it's. I'm pretty sure this is it. He would surpass like whatever the real.
They always say 16-time world champion, but he's won more than 16 world championships.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not Wikipedia. I think he's. Either way, though,
look it up.
They need a close up of Ric Flair, and then like if he does win, they need to go to the Ric Flair cam, and I want to see his face. I want to. That's how emotional.
That would be like
see.
when LeBron James beat Kareem's record for like points or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was just sitting there looking all pissed.
I'm saying. So I mean. I don't know. Like, as awesome as Cody Rhodes winning last year was, and how that happened, and the whole celebration, which never really ever happened on like a WrestleMania before, to this year just being screwed by The Rock, whether it's a dusty finish or I don't know. I want to see Cena win. That's what people are going to talk about on the news. John Cena winning the championship. It's going to be all over the place.
You know why I want to see Cena win, right?
Why is that?
So I can go over to my buddy's house and just hit him with the double bird.
Rub it in, why don't you?
I'm coming for you, Chris.
So I can't even think about this too, because like in my head I'm like, okay, what does it benefit, or like what's the outcome to this, to where okay, Cody hasn't lost all year, he's still been champion 1 year around. If he beats Cena, who beats Cody eventually? Like, who do you give that to? Or is this the right move of just let Cena taking it off of him to pay it back to where he does come back and beat Cena? Gets Cena out of his whole heel thing. Maybe they could end with him turning back face, or I don't know.
We're going to have a new bloodline.
What's that? Oh, no.
No, there's just mad people that are still in developmental.
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't been on TV, but like there's people who are signed that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting a new bloodline. Tribal Chief is going to take that belt off him and SummerSlam.
So, did you watch it? It was, I forget the name of it, but it was about WrestleMania 9. It was like a documentary on Peacock.
No.
It was good, man. It was really good. Because I go back, I remember the day I was watching it at home. I said it on the other show, but I just remember vividly watching it that day. It was sunny out when it was on. It was so weird to me because it was like on earlier.
What was your favorite match? Was it Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez?
You know, I don't know if I had it. It was like that time of like WrestleMania, WWE the arcade, WrestleMania the arcade game.
Yeah,
it was all those characters from like Doinks first, like the whole
Doink and Crush.
Yep, and the whole double Doinks in there. Can you say that?
There was Lex Luger and Mr. Perfect were on that card.
Yeah, the first match for Lex Luger on there. A lot of crazy stuff, man. So. No, but the documentary was really good. A lot of Vince stuff, surprisingly. I didn't like. There's a lot of it's. I was surprised they left it all in, but hey, whatever. Nobody cares anymore, I guess.
Yeah. So that was WrestleMania 9, right?
Yeah.
It was probably.
Oh my God! But it was good. It was really good.
That just got weird.
But making me think about like what's going on this year, being back like in Vegas. I kind of wish it was almost outdoors, like what it was. But it was a really good behind the scenes thing because they filmed all this behind the scenes stuff for the first time, and then they just put it away because they never released it. And now, like 30 years later, they're releasing it. So it's.
I just remember Bobby Heenan coming in on that. Was it a camel?
Yeah.
He was on backwards or some shit.
No, it was really good. I didn't even know what my whole point about that was. Oh, so it was the whole ending for that where Bret Hart walks out. Oh, I'm hurt. Okay, Hogan, you go get it. Go get the title. That was like the most ridiculous thing I ever saw as like a wrestling fan. Like how he did work for this for weeks. Like they didn't have no setup, and he just gets the championship.
It's a nice little surprise, bro.
So is it gonna be like that though? With Cena, like Rock comes out, does the whole Montreal screw job, rings the bell.
Imagine they do the finger poke of doom.
Do they really want to end on like that much heat on WrestleMania? I mean, because like even if Cody wins, it's not gonna be that big of a pop. I mean, like he beat heel Cena. Like I feel like heel Cena's got to win. It's got to win they have to work something in with that.
The question is, do you send the people home happy or do you send them home pissed off?
I'm saying that's it.
I feel like if you send people home happy, like last year is different. There was a good story behind it where Cody's finishing his story. So yeah, you're gonna tune in to see it. But that was like the top of the arch right there. Right?
Yeah.
Now I feel like there's really no reason to like tune in to see what happened to Cody?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to tune in to see what Cena would do with the you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't know. It's one of those damned if you do's, right? Cody wins, you can set up a new thing for him. John C, if you build it, they will come. Or is it, or does John? I feel like for me, the biggest draw is going to be Cena winning it to see what he has to say the next night on some big kind of screwy finish. That's what I'm. That's what I'm predicting.
That crowd's going to be nuts.
I know. So I mean, it's Vegas. At the end of the day, they're not going to care. They're going to go drink out after anyway. And
correct.
You're in the middle of Vegas. It's not like you're in like.
It's going to be beach balls all over the place.
Like
we haven't seen that in a couple of years, actually.
What's that?
Like, the next night of Raw afterwards.
Oh yeah, that big of a crowd. I know.
You don't really hear like you don't see the beach balls anymore. You don't see the crowd going absolutely nuts.
Yeah. I don't know how that Vegas crowd is, but I mean, it's going to be a WrestleMania Vegas crowd, so it's everybody from all over the world. Yeah. So the best marks of the marks, right? Who are going, who aren't cheap and can actually buy tickets and spend all that kind of money.
Yeah, you can't buy WrestleMania tickets with Shane Bucks, Credo.
I'm saying, if you guys out there want to send us to WrestleMania next year, we'll be down in New Orleans, another wrestling New Orleans trip with Beacon Podcasting. Everybody, and Neil's going to be there for joining us, everybody, man. So, guys, I don't know, Cooter, man. It's a holy week. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep this. I feel like I'm trying to be angry, Cooter or Credo, but I'm just not angry. But I kind of like glasses.
You got your you're going to sleep. I'm going to tell you something right now.
Yeah.
You're going to sleep very well tonight.
Yeah.
You got all that frustration out.
I'm saying.
Pause.
Yeah. Not like that, but yeah. We'll do it every week, though. So I don't know, guys. This Saturday, Aspire Brewery. We're going to be in Middletown.
How many plugs are you going to give these guys?
I don't know how else to end it, so I figured I'd end on a plug.
Enough! I want to go home and drink.
And it's WrestleMania.
Sal, take us out. We're done.
We're going to get ready. It's the first WrestleMania show. And, whatever. I don't know. There's too many shows.